If you own real estate in Georgia, the state requires you to pay a property tax. Now, the bill is based on the value of your property on January 1st of the current year, but your county may be wrong in their estimate, making your tax bill higher than it should be. Well, here to help lower your tax bill is Fox 5 real estate expert John Adams. John, how are you?
I'm well today. Thank you, bud.
All right, good to see you today. So the question is, and I guess the answer may be depending on where you live, is it too late to lower your property tax bill?
Every county makes their own decision on the deadlines here, and Gwinnett County typically jumps the gun. As always, they were the jackrabbit, mailed right after the earliest possible date, and their deadline has already passed. Interestingly, only in Metro Atlanta, only Cobb has mailed. We're still within their 45-day period, and the other counties haven't even mailed yet. So we couldn't appeal even if we wanted to because we don't have the notice.
All right, so let's talk about an appeal. What does that mean to file an appeal?
Well, you're going to receive, hopefully, a piece of paper that tells you what the county believes your property was worth on January 1st. That's your assessment. And they send you this notice of assessment. And then it's up to you to decide, could your property have sold for that on January 1? And the answer to that is, what have similar homes in your neighborhood sold for in the 12 months preceding that, which would have been 2016. So that means we may need to do a little homework. But for right now, if you think the number is too high, and it typically is, go ahead, file your appeal. It's a simple form, one page. We've got copies for everybody. They can go to money99.com and get the special report on how to file that appeal.
Okay, so how can I find out about my assessment and the deadline for my particular county?
That's a problem because we've got 159 counties, and the news media just doesn't pay much attention because there's so many different ones. And so you need to call the tax commissioner. If you have not by now received a tax note, and I'm sure the commissioners are going to hate me for this, but you need to pick up the phone and call the tax commissioner. They're very nice people, and just say, when is the deadline for my particular property in this county, and how do I file an appeal? And they'll walk you through it. Some counties have their own forms, but they are all required to accept the standard Georgia Department of Revenue form. It has a handy nickname, PT 311A.
Oh, that's easy to remember. Yeah, at least they made it, clever and easy to remember, right?
That's it.
All right, so what happens next? What's the process here?
Well, once you have filed that appeal, then they will schedule a Board of Equalization hearing. But that's probably 6 months, in some cases a year from now, which means you've got lots of time to sit down with the tax assessor and say, hey, let's talk about my particular house. The wonderful thing is, recent changes in Georgia property tax law require the state or the county to share with you information on how they determined what they think the value of your home is. So it's sort of like playing poker, but saying, could I see your cards, please? And they have to show you all of their data. Then you can independently verify that or dispute it. At any time, you can always say, I've changed my mind. I don't want to pursue an appeal. There's no retribution, no cost to this.
Sounds like you just have to do a little bit of homework yourself, and if you do so, it could pay off for you big time.
It could. I have found typically I get a significant reduction 1 in 3 times. So it's worth doing.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that remains in place for 2 additional tax years. So it's almost like a savings of 3 times whatever you get. It's worth doing.
Definitely worth doing. All right, John, thanks a lot. And John's going to be here for the next hour to answer all of your real estate questions on our Fox 5 Atlanta Facebook page, so you definitely want to take advantage of that. It is 8:53, and Good Day Atlanta. We'll be right back. Stay with us.